Whether they ask for it or were born into it, people are going to speculate about celebrities. In the case of Shiloh Jolie-Pitt, it's the ever-shifting looks that have kept people's attention.
Kids, they grow up so fast. Here's a question though. Do any of them shoot up quite so quickly as Shiloh Jolie-Pitt? A media frenzy erupted when Shiloh Jolie-Pitt was born in 2006. Her parents, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, were the two biggest tabloid targets at the time, and it seemed that every move they made was photographed and written about. Perhaps unsurprisingly, a frenzied bidding war took place to obtain the first photos of Shiloh, who was born in May of that year. People magazine reportedly paid $4.1 million for the North American photo rights to Angelina's new golden child, while Hello magazine is said to have shelled out a further $3.5 million for the British rights. Brad and Angelina donated their earnings from the photo sales to charity. When Shiloh's biological siblings, Knox Leon and Vivian Marceline, were born in 2008, they scored an even bigger photo deal, somewhere in the region of $15 to $20 million. Once again, the proceeds went to charity. For a long time, though, it was all about Shiloh as far as the media is concerned. Of all the Pitt-Jolie family's biological children, she arguably looks the most like her parents, a tiny hybrid of Angelina and Brad. Angelina told MSN in 2007, "Shy's so full of light and love and very, very funny. I think I'm recognizing some of myself in that one. She's going to be a little bit of trouble." Shiloh quickly followed in her famous folks' footsteps, making her film debut in 2008 alongside her dad. She played his baby daughter, Caroline, in The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. She was just 2 years old at the time and obviously still pretty short. Over the next few years, Shiloh Jolie-Pitt seemed to shoot up, and by 2018, she had reached nearly chin height against her famous mom. Despite being a young child, she often caught heat in the tabloids for her unique fashion sense. Shiloh preferred non-gender conformist clothing, which appeared to offend people for some reason. Angelina Jolie once defended a growing Shiloh style, describing her look as Montenegro style. Admittedly, this comment left many fashion experts scratching their heads, since the little-known European country doesn't have any particularly unique way of dressing. Speaking to Vanity Fair, Angelina added, "She likes tracksuits. She likes regular suits, so it's a suit with a tie and a jacket and slacks, or a tracksuit. She likes to dress like a boy. She wants to be a boy, so we had to cut her hair. She likes to wear boys' everything." Inevitably, Angelina and Brad's commitment to allowing their child to dress exactly as she wanted ruffled feathers, with the two parents attracting a number of vitriolic comments on social media. Angelina herself was undeterred, though. In 2010, she told Reuters, "I think Shiloh is fascinating, the choices she is making. Children should be allowed to express themselves in whatever way they wish, without anybody judging them, because it is an important part of their growth. Society always has something to learn when it comes to the way we judge each other, label each other. We have far to go."
I've only seen diversity as strength.
So here's the big question. Now that Shiloh Jolie-Pitt has grown into herself, how does her height compare against her family? Well, Angelina is 5 feet 7 inches, while Brad Pitt is 5 feet 11 inches. So Shiloh is clearly taking after her parents in the height stakes. Maddox Jolie-Pitt is estimated to be 5 feet 5 inches, Pax 5 feet 4 inches, and Zahara 5 feet 3 inches. Meanwhile, Knox and Vivian Jolie-Pitt are around 5 feet tall. As the youngest of the kid crew, they still have plenty of growing to do. And as for Shiloh herself, it's hard to say for sure, but she was seen towering over her siblings during a 2023 dinner date with Angelina, Pax, and Zahara. Dressed in a tracksuit with a hoodie pulled over her buzz cut, Shiloh also appeared to be taller than her mom, who was in heels. It seems crazy to think how tall Shiloh has grown in the last few years, and how far she's come. But hey, that's what kids do.
Just like her mom, Angelina Jolie, Shiloh's style has evolved quite a bit over the years. She has always seemed to have a devil-may-care attitude toward fashion. There was a time when Shiloh wished to go by a totally different name, John, and would only dress in stereotypical cis-male gendered clothing such as suits and ties, baggy shorts, and long, loose t-shirts. Tabloids and armchair child psychologists harbored an unhealthy obsession with Shiloh's fashion sense. Salon notes that Angelina was even accused of bad parenting, presumably for not forcing Shiloh into frilly pink dresses and Mary Janes. Instead, Angelina steadfastly defended her daughter's unique sense of style, but Shiloh's evolution also involves emulating her mom. She shifts styles seamlessly, alternating from buzzed hair and sportswear to top knots and designer dresses in the flash of a camera. Angelina is the same regarding her fashion picks. The actor has an unmistakable aesthetic, and although she mainly favors all black these days, it hasn't always been that way. Angelina has experimented wildly with her style over the years, with an emphasis on wild. For example, she once wore then-husband Billy Bob Thornton's blood encased in a pendant around her neck. She explained to Entertainment Weekly that the pendant wasn't a vial of blood, it was more like a flower press. She added, "It was like from a slight cut on your finger, and you press your fingerprint in. It was kind of a sweet gesture. I thought it was kind of romantic."
You collect butterfly knives, right?
Yeah, let's see.
Angelina has also drastically changed her hair many times. She's experimented with various cuts and colors, curly locks, bangs, sleek short bobs, cute pixie crops, and buzz cuts, just like Shiloh. Shiloh's style evolution continues to flourish. These days, she's equally comfortable clad in a tracksuit and sneakers, busting out impressive dance moves, or gracing the red carpet in glamorous gowns. The teen stunned the crowds at the 2021 UK red carpet premiere of Eternals, where she wore her mom's gorgeous black and white 2019 Dior dress she specially altered to fit her tastes. InStyle reports that it was a maxi gown when Angelina wore it to the Maleficent Mistress of Evil press conference paired with heels. Shiloh decided to hike the hemline above her knees and wear the dress with flats. According to Life and Style, at another Eternals premiere, the budding fashionista was clad in the Gabriella Hearst nude-colored raw silk dress Angelina wore to the Parisian Women for Bees project in July 2021. Once again, Shiloh added her own unique take by chopping the full-length frock into an asymmetric style.
My kids are all mixed with vintage and my old Oscars. These are my old Oscar dress. We did all vintage and upcycled my old stuff.
While there's no doubt that Brad Pitt has had many meaningful Hollywood roles in his life, it hasn't always been easy. Back in 2019, he told CNN, "My dad always said he wanted to give me a better life than he had coming from extreme poverty, and he did it. And it makes me think, as a dad, what do I have to offer that's better than I had to my kids?" However, he did tell GQ in 2017 that he knows he needs to do better as a father, especially after his dramatic split from ex-wife Angelina Jolie. He explained, "Kids are so delicate. They absorb everything. They need to have their hand held and things explained. They need to be listened to. When I get in that busy work mode, I'm not hearing. I want to be better at that." One report says that the proud father is happy to have seen this about his daughter, Shiloh Jolie-Pitt, even if it was from thousands of miles away. Angelina Jolie surprised her fans by bringing her children on the red carpet with her during her media blitz for her film Eternals. According to In Touch Weekly, Shiloh's father is happy to see his teenage daughter coming out of her shell with her new look. One source told the publication, "Brad doesn't want her growing up so fast, but he's proud to see her on red carpets. It's been a confidence boost for Shiloh. Of course, he worries about the effect of Hollywood on all his kids, but he does trust Angie's instincts in this area." While no one knows in which direction Shiloh will go, especially when it comes to the entertainment industry, at least one thing is certain: she has the best of both worlds when it comes to her parents' Hollywood genes. While whether or not Shiloh does become a performer or a screen star like her famous parents remains to be seen, for now, it seems like her mother has her focused on totally different interests instead. While both Angelina Jolie and her ex, Brad Pitt, have done what they can to protect their children from the limelight, they also seem to realize that their kids are public figures just as much as they are. That might be one of the reasons why Jolie has been more open to taking her kids on the red carpet and sharing behind-the-scenes photos of their life on Instagram. In fact, Jolie shared photos of Shiloh and her sister Zahara Jolie-Pitt finishing up their summer reading on her Instagram. The proud mom captioned her post, "These are some of the favorites in our house. Would love to know yours." It was one of the rare glimpses that Jolie has given into her children's private lives at home. Now, as far as what the future holds for Shiloh and her siblings, Jolie told The Guardian that she simply wants her family to heal after years of divorce drama and custody battles. She said, "I want everyone to move forward, all of us, including their dad. I want us to heal and be peaceful. We'll always be a family." By the looks of how things are going, it seems like Pitt, Jolie, and their 6 children are definitely on the right path to healing.
In an interview with Vanity Fair, Jolie doted over her daughter, calling her hysterically funny and playful. The actress noted that she was a lot like Shiloh when she was a little kid, saying, "Goofy and verbal, the early signs of a performer. I used to get dressed up in costumes and jump around." Discussing her own childhood, Jolie says that at a certain point she closed off and went darker. She explained, "I think you just get hit with the realities of certain things in life, think too much, start to realize the world isn't as you wished it would be, so you deepen. Then, as I had kids and got older, being goofy, lighter, it all came back." 3 of Jolie's children appeared in small roles in Disney's live-action Maleficent in 2014. That number could have been 4, according to an interview Jolie gave to The Hot Hits. She revealed, "We joked about Shiloh being the older Aurora, and she thought it was the most ridiculous thing in the world. She would never even wear a dress. She would never, ever." Apparently, Shiloh said at the time she would rather play somebody by the name of Marcus. Jolie explained, "I said, 'Who is Marcus?' Shiloh said, 'Marcus has horns and a bow and arrow.' So I don't know who Marcus is, but in her mind, there's a whole other character named Marcus." In 2015, Shiloh accompanied Jolie on a humanitarian trip to Lebanon and Turkey. While in Lebanon, they spent time with a 12-year-old Syrian girl named Hala, whom Jolie had met a year prior, according to People magazine.
When I met Hala and her family in 2014, they had arrived in Lebanon without parents, as refugees.
Jolie told People that her daughter had been asking to join her on a mission for years, and Shiloh was finally able to meet and become friends with Hala. Jolie went on to say, "Upon leaving the family, Shiloh asked many questions. It is, of course, hard to explain all of the harsh realities of war and displacement. She said she felt sad but was happy that she went and is looking forward to the next visit." British actress Millie Bobby Brown has her fair share of celebrity admirers in Hollywood, but only a few of them are near enough to her in age to be considered friends in the traditional sense. In February 2019, The Blast revealed that Brown had been hanging out with Shiloh and her sister Zahara. The outlet confirmed the trio was out past 11 p.m. after enjoying a quick meal. Brown's mother chaperoned the meetup. There was no sign of Jolie or Pitt as the kids left the restaurant late, but Pitt is said to be conflicted about the whole thing. According to Hollywood Life, Shiloh and Zahara's night out with Millie Bobby Brown brought up mixed emotions for Brad. He's happy that they're making friends and having fun, but he's also a very protective dad, so it is hard for him to see his babies growing up. She might take after her mother in terms of philanthropy, but when it comes to looks, Shiloh is very much her father's daughter. When Jolie and her 4 youngest kids attended the premiere of Disney's Dumbo in March 2019, Shiloh drew immediate comparisons to Pitt. IBT reported, "Many noticed that Shiloh looked like the spitting image of her father." Shiloh has actually been popping up at movie premieres with increasing regularity as of April 2019, and each time she seems to resemble her dad all the more. Just a month before she walked the red carpet for Dumbo, Shiloh and her siblings were seen at a screening of The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, and in 2018, she amazed people with her resemblance to Pitt at the Toronto premiere of The Breadwinner.
Shiloh Jolie-Pitt knows how to create a buzz, quite literally. She loves to switch up her style choices, going from a pixie cut to a chignon seemingly in the blink of an eye. Shiloh switched up her look again for the Italian premiere of The Eternals, where she was clad in a black Versace skater-style dress, brightly patterned yellow and black sneakers, and had her hair in an updo once again. While Shiloh might be departing from what her mother described as her Montenegro style, she continues to remain true to herself stylistically. Over the years, Shiloh Jolie-Pitt has garnered many comparisons to her actor parents. When she was rocking her long brunette tresses, she looked more like Angelina, with some hints of Brad in there as well. While her resemblance to Brad is more noticeable with her cropped haircut, she could still easily play her mom in a biopic one day. As the Daily Star pointed out, Shiloh's look is very reminiscent of one of the looks Angelina sported while filming Gia, the biographical film chronicling model Gia Karanji's success and tragic death. And though Angelina's Gia haircut would become one of her most iconic looks, she hasn't always been up for short hairstyles. In 2015, leaked emails between Jolie and Sony executives revealed that she wasn't fond of the producer's desire to shave her head in a Cleopatra movie. She wrote, "The one thought I would ask you both is about her bald. I think that made sense in earlier drafts, but if we are saying every time she's in bed, she has no hair or a shaved head, it changes the sensuality." In response to Jolie's hesitation, producer Scott Rudin and Sony co-chairwoman Amy Pascal made some pretty snarky comments about Angelina and her talent. In response, Angelina spoke to the New York Times, saying she's more than equipped to deal with criticism, whether it comes from producers or the public.